Man has learned from experience that it is impossible to move mountains. The Central Pacific Road is a great example of how hard it is to move mountains. They had to find a way to get a railroad through a 7,000-foot tall Sierra Nevada mountains. In late 1865, they started construction on the Summit Tunnel, which would be 1,660 feet long, going straight through the Sierra Nevada mountains. Very quickly, they had found a problem. The Sierra Mountains were solid granite. They would have to work 3 8-hour shifts, hand drilling through the granite, and trying to use black powder to blast the granite loose. In a 24-hour workday, they would average 0.98 feet per day. Men could only move mountains at less than 1 foot per day. But Jesus says if we just speak to a mountain, it will be moved. But on our own, we will not go far trying to move our own mountains. We find the same story in Matthew 17. Jesus was having a private conversation with disciples about faith. Before this conversation, the disciples were having a problem where they did not have enough faith to help at helping at a demon-possessed boy. The disciples couldn't heal this boy, so Jesus helped them see where they had failed. Matthew 17:20 says, He, Jesus, replied, "Because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will be moved. Nothing will be impossible for you." In this verse, Jesus is telling us that with God, even the smallest bit of faith can help us overcome the biggest obstacles we face in life. Mountains are a huge obstacle for us to overcome. And yet Jesus tells us that if we just speak to this mountain and have faith in God, God will move our mountains. That's like me telling the Rocky Mountains to jump into the Pacific Ocean. It's impossible for me, but with faith in God, Jesus says nothing will be impossible for you. Some people have financial issues that they may feel too big for them to overcome, like house debt they cannot afford to pay, or some medical bills that have accumulated over time. Their financial issues may feel like an impossible mountain to move. Other people may have health issues that feel like they can never be healed and doctors can't find answers for. A rough home life with mom and dad going through divorce can feel like a mountain. For some of us in school, the pressure to keep our grades up can feel like a mountain. Or sometimes at school we may be bullied or picked on, and that can feel like a mountain. The peer pressure we may receive from friends can also feel like a mountain. In order to have faith that can move mountains, you need to have faith that believes in what it cannot see. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see." The author of Hebrews is telling us that with faith, it is confidence in what we hope for and believing in what we do not see. It's hard to believe in something you cannot see. If I were to blindfold you and told you somebody would lead your way through obstacles, would you believe in me? Would you trust in me? Faith is best described as believing in what we cannot see. Pastor Dan once said in a sermon, people always say seeing is believing. But what if seeing is deceiving? A rumor is hearing something deceiving, something that is not true. An eye rumor is seeing something deceiving, something that does not look what it might be. We struggle to believe in what we cannot see, and we can't always trust what we do see. It's like when you're a kid. You're laying in bed and it's dark. In your closet, you think you see a hand, a face, or a shape. You might think it's the monster, the boogeyman, or whatever your eyes tell you. But once you turn on the lights, you realize it's not what you thought it was. It was just an eye rumor. You can't trust what your eyes tell you because they can be deceiving. But the reality is, we want to trust in what we do see, and that's the struggle in most of us. But what we need to trust in is what we cannot see, and that's Jesus and what He tells us in the Bible. How can you move mountains in your life, this time with God? If we don't have faith in God to help us move our mountains, they will be immovable and they will wear us down. The reality is, we need to not trust in what we do see with our mountains or our problems. We should trust in what we do not see and what we hope in and know is real. And that is Jesus, the one who can help us move our mountains. We cannot believe in the eye rumor that is in front of us, but we must believe in God and have faith that He will help us move our mountains. What mountains are in your life that you need God help moving today? If so, ask God to help you overcome your obstacles, to help you move your mountains. Thank you.